Hello, this is Bill Webb, aka Billy Indiana. Today I'm going to do an overview, playthrough, and review for a new button shy game, The Royal Limited. This game is by Scott Almes, and this was provided to me as a review copy from Button Shy Games. Well, as is true for Button Shy Games, all of the game consists of these 18 cards. There's a little rules booklet here. There is one card that serves as the timer for the game, and you're just going to be spinning it each round. And when it says train departed, that's your final round. So it's going to be a 4-round game. We have 5 double-sided VIP cards, and each one has a specific placement rule and a color, although this one's wild. And they are double-sided, so you basically have 10 to choose from. For each game, you're going to pick 2, so we'll just set these off to the side. There's just this little wallet-style container that you put this in, or that the game comes in. So, see, we'll just put these off here to the side. We won't be using those VIPs. And then we've got our timer. There's also this deck of 15 cards that serve as either trains if they're played in the horizontal orientation, or they serve as passengers if you play them in the vertical position. All right, so at the beginning of the game, you're going to choose randomly 2 VIPs. So ours are P. Woodson. It says, though she prefers tea and books to large crowds, this poet's readings are sold out across the country. And she needs to be placed in a pink car. You can tell by that pink question mark symbol there. There's no value for putting her as a passenger into the car, but she must be placed in between 2 odd-valued other passengers. Kay Harrison says, with a smile and a joke, this high-stakes gambler puts everyone at ease until the cards come out. He is wild, so it can go in any colored train car, and you have to place him when your hand is empty. Now, your hand is going to consist of 5 of these cards, so we'll deal out 5, and then this will be the draw pile, and then we'll also, just make some space here, we'll also have a discard pile up here. So these are the 5 cards that I have drawn, and each card has a color. So this is a blue train car with a value of 3, yellowish green with 2, pink 3, yellow 3, and pink 1. And if you want to play them as a car, so for instance, if I wanted to put this down as the first car in my train, you look at the number, and then that's how many cards you have to discard from your hand. Now there's also a power at the bottom of the card. This one says move a passenger to another car matching the color or value and trigger their new car's effects. And our goal, we're going to play 4 rounds. Right now we're in round 1, and we have to get rid of as many of these cards as possible. On the back it tells us that we'll only become the royal conductor if there are no cards left in the discard pile over here or the draw pile here, and all of our cars have to have a passenger, and both of our VIPs need to be placed. So that's how we're going to score ourselves at the end. If we only have 2 cards left in that combination, we are a beginner conductor, and if we have 4 or more, we just lose. So I'm going to be looking at my cards, looking at their functions, and we only do the action there at the bottom when we place a passenger. So if I wanted to play this one, I might want to save this pink one that I could put in as a passenger, because when you play the cards, they have to be a different color and a different number before it can be placed into the next position. But when you play a passenger, it has to match either the number or the color. So if I keep this pink one, I could put it in that pink one. So let's go ahead and discard this blue 3 to pay for that car. So now I've got a pink car in there. Now, if I wanted to put this one down, it is a different color and a different number, so that works. But then I would have to discard 2. And if I do that, that's fine. But once my hand is done, then that's the end of the round. And then we would spin this. But I have placed that. I have 2 cards that are acting as train cars. And this one says wild. I can place it in either car, and I place it when my hand is empty. And so if I put it here, it says move a passenger to another car. Well, there's no passengers out there yet, so I don't want to do that. If I place it here, it says reveal the top card of the deck, this. Place it as a passenger in a car matching its color or value and trigger that car's effects. If it cannot be placed, return it to the top of the deck. So my hand is empty. It's wild. It can go under any color. So I'm going to put Kay Harrison in that car and draw this one off the deck, fulfilling this action. This is a 0 blue, and so it says place it if you can. I can't, because it's 0 and blue. It has to either be pink or 1 to go in that car. So as it says, I just put it right back on top of the deck. That's the end of the first round. I've placed 2 cards. I put one of my VIPs in, and so we spin this 90 degrees to show that we have completed 1 round. And then I draw 5 more cards. All right. So if I look at my hand of cards here now, I've got a 0, 1, 2 blue, and I have a 0 and a 2 pink. And remember, I need to put P. Woodson here in between 2 cars that have passengers that are odd numbered values. So it'd be nice if I could get this blue, this blue 1 into a car here perhaps, so that I could develop an odd and then a blank and then an odd. And I'm going to have to put her in a pink car. So let's see, maybe I'll try this. I'll put this 0 down. That cost me nothing. And then I'll be able to put this one as an odd number in here. And then I'll put, let's see, I'll put this 0 down. That cost me nothing. And, oh no, I can't do that because the number matches. I can't match a number or color. So let's see, let's try this. I'll put this pink 2 down, which means I have to discard 2 cards. And so I'm going to discard these 2. And then I'm going to place this one as a passenger, a blue 1 and a blue 0 card. And then it says, place a card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. Well, I don't have any cards in my hand, so I'm not going to place any on the bottom of the deck. My hand is empty. That's the end of the round. We rotate this one. Now, I will comment now because it'll probably come up later, but this says next. If the function at the bottom, if the action at the bottom says next and you can't do it, you would automatically end the round at that point. All right, so now I've completed 2 rounds. I need to drop to 5. Well, there's only 2 cards here, and so I need to shuffle this pile of discards so I can get 3 more. All right, so there's 3, 4, 5. These are now my draw deck. And now I'm in round 3, and see, what do I have here? Well, I need to get another car out here that I can put an odd numbered passenger in. I also need to get a passenger down here. It's going to have to either be a pink or a 1. And so let's see. I do have some yellow out here that I could use. And so if I put this 0 out here and activate it, I'm going to discard something from my hand. If I put this 1 out here, it says return the top card of the discard pile to your hand. Let's see, I could put this 0 down here in this one, which says move a passenger to another car matching color or value and trigger that new car's effects. Well, that might be handy. So let's see. Let's try this. Let's put this 0 down, which costs nothing. And then let's put this 3 here as a passenger, a yellow and a yellow, so that's good. And that doesn't cost anything to place the passenger. And then let's do this. So she can go in between those 2 odds. So we'll put her in there because she's between a 1 and a 3. All right, now I can't place the pink 0 here as a card because you can't put a 0 by a 0. And I can't place the yellow 1. So I could place the 2 and discard both of these. Let's see, it's got a draw 2. Place a passenger value of 1 or 2. I am getting ready to get into my last round. Let's see. I've got the blue 1 and the blue 0. Here's the blue 2. So if I put this out as a card, I do have a blue 3 I could possibly place there. I'm going to be able to get this back into my hand to place there. So let's try that. Let's go ahead and play the 2, discard 2. And so that's the end of the round. And so we spin this. It says train departed. So we are in the final round. I draw the 2 off the deck. I've got just 2 here, so I just take all 4 of those cards. I can only draw my hand up to 4 this time. And let's see how we can do here. So if let's see, I can get the 3 here, and I can get the 0 or the 3 or the 1 here. So let's see, can we do this? Let's do the 3 here. See if I can slide these down a little bit so we'll be able to get the train all into view here. This one says I'm going to move a passenger to another car matching color value, trigger their new car's effects. And you have to do it if you can. So I don't want to do that yet. This one says draw 2 cards next, place a passenger of value 1 or 2. So we could do that. Well, I can't draw 2 cards, but I could place a passenger. All right, this is going to get tricky here. So if I place this, that's 0. And it says next, place a passenger in a car such that the 2 cards have a total of 3. All right. So, okay, can I do this here? Well, let's go. Let's put the 1 here. Let's see, color. Okay, I'll put the 1 here. It says move a passenger to another car matching color or value and trigger that new car's effect. So I could move this, let's see, I can move this 1 to this 2 because they're both blue. That would mean I draw 2, which I can't, and then I need to place a passenger of 1 or 2, which I can't. So I don't want to do that. Yeah, maybe I don't want to do that yet. This is tricky. I've got all these next commands that I don't really want to do. Tough decisions here. Okay, so I'll do this. It says draw 2 cards. There are none to draw. So, and then next, place a passenger of value 1 or 2. All right. So if I place a value of 1, I can place that here. And then it says move a passenger to another car matching color and trigger their new car's value. Well, the only car I have open is a 0 red, and none of mine are 0 or red. So I can't do that, and it doesn't say next. So that means I don't have to do that function if I can't. It just says I have to if I'm able to. And then this can go as a passenger there. And then it says next. I can't do the next because I have no more cards. That ends the round, but that also ends the game. All of the cards have been played, and that is actually the first time I've ever won. Hopefully I didn't break any rules. Let's see, we've got a 1 pink, a 2 green, a 0 a blue, 2 pink, 0 yellow, blue, 2. Yeah, I think we're okay. Hopefully I didn't break any rules as I was following it through. If I did, leave some comments down below, but that ends our train trip. I was able to place both VIPs, got all the cards in play, so I became a royal conductor. I think I've played this close to 10 times now, and that's the first time I've been able to get all the cards down. So you've seen a kind of an overview of what the game is about, what the cards consist of, and then now a quick playthrough of how it works. As a review, I don't typically play a lot of solo games, but this is a puzzly style game that I'm fine playing with. And as you saw, I can play it in 5 to 10 minutes. It's thinky enough. There's enough variety because there's 10 of these different VIPs, and so it's mix and match. The ones that we had a wild that could go anywhere as long as it was no cards in your hand, and this had to be between 2 odds. There's some that have to be between 2 evens. There's some that have to be between an even and an odd. There's some have to be between 2 passengers whose total value is 3. They just have all kinds of different guidelines that you have to fulfill, and you would just randomly choose any 2 of those, and there's 10 different ones. So lots of variability. So if you like solo games and you like puzzly games that you can play quickly, I think this might be a game for you. It kind of reminds me of another button shy game that I've played quite a bit, Skulls of Sedlick. And you don't have to play this one solo, but that's the only way I've played this. In fact, I backed the Kickstarter for all of the different expansions, and I've played through all of the expansions of this multiple times. So that's another button shy game that works well solo, also a very puzzly game with all kinds of expansions for it. Another game that I've played solo that's similar is Smitten. You can play it cooperative with 2 players, or you can play the solo version. And it's a nice little puzzly game as well that plays pretty fast solo. And it's also really interesting that it's a cooperative 2-player game, so that might be one you'd be interested in. If you like other small card games, there's a whole bunch of love letter games, and my wife and I have enjoyed those. There's the Star Wars one and the Thanos Marvel one, and those are a little bit different. There's some special rules. And then there's also the original love letter, and then there's the Legend of the Five Rings version, and the Hobbit version, and the Batman version. And those original ones are a little bit more like the button shy games where they're 18 cards, and you can play those with multiple players, though not just solo. So if you like the idea, there's a bunch of other suggestions for you to consider. Or if you like these other ones that I've suggested, you might like the Royal Limited. I've enjoyed it more than I thought I would because, again, I'm not very much of a solo player. But it's been a nice little puzzle, and it's fun to just fill some time. It doesn't take up a ton of space. Play it pretty quickly. And if you like that kind of puzzle game, I think you would enjoy it. If you have any questions for me, leave those down in the comments below. Hopefully you enjoyed the overview, review, and playthrough. If you did, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up, and it'd be terrific if you'd choose to subscribe to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. This is Billy Indiana, signing off.